Okay, hold on a second. That I agree with everything you said, except for the last part of it. Everybody calm down, and I'll tell you why. I mean, it's fine to not spin what happened last night, and we're not going to. Again,
by the way,
he had
Mika,
a terrible
by the
night.
way, Mika, everybody's calm here.
No,
you're the
but,
only one raising your voice.
No,
Everybody is calm here.
But again, it's the let's just immediately pull this. Let's end this. Let's find someone else.
That's not what Mike said.
That attitude toward this is what I am saying slow down on, because again, there's no spinning it, but let's be balanced. Let's for once show some balance in a media world that is so shrill with imbalance that we've become inured to the difference between these two candidates. So let's put it this way. Gene Robinson, I'll go to you.
Well, wait, I just have to stop you. First of all, we always show balance.
We are, yeah.
Secondly, nobody's panicking. I said these were questions that Democrats and Joe Biden needed to ask themselves. And Mike said he missed one pitch down the middle after another and wasn't up to it last night.
Right, okay.
He said
wasn't up to it last night.
He said last night. So I will say that it's not panic. I mean, it's not being panicked to understand what's at stake and understand the window is closing very quickly. And if last night did not reveal that to you and other Democrats, then it needs to be revealed pretty soon.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about the continued meltdown in the liberal media over Joe Biden's terrible debate performance, because that has been the main topic. That's been the main topic for the past 4 or 5 days now, and the liberal media has not stopped talking about it because they're in full-blown panic mode, along with the Democrat Party, over what to do about Joe Biden. It seems as if the Biden crime family is not going to step down, that Biden is going to try to remain president of the United States. So outside of a full-blown coup from the Democrats, from the DNC, it seems as if Joe Biden is going to continue to run, okay? And now the mainstream liberal media, they're getting their talking points in order to justify Biden still staying in the race, which, I mean, honestly, probably is a good thing for Trump, for Biden to stay, okay? It probably is Trump's best chance. But I really don't think it matters, because even if Biden drops out, I don't think that any other Democrat candidate can actually beat Trump. So I think that either way, the Democrats are just done. But anyways, yeah, the mainstream media, they're getting their talking points now on how to justify Biden staying in the race after trashing him throughout all of the media after that debate, okay? And throughout this process of the media having to cope with reality, a reality that they continuously denied leading up to the reality check that happened on CNN live at the debate, some of these individuals, like for example, Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, have humiliated themselves, because these are the people that told us that Joe Biden was as sharp as ever, okay? It is actually a conspiracy theory. It is a conspiracy to believe that there is some issues with Biden upstairs, okay? And I was saying, no, the real conspiracy is the idea that Biden is 100% healthy and that there's nothing wrong with him, right? What you're seeing from the mainstream liberal media is a plot. It is a gaslighting attempt to make you think that Joe Biden is actually mentally well upstairs. They all know that this guy is falling apart, okay? And lo and behold, it happened on the world stage, and as predicted, there is now full-blown panic within the party. Even Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski publicly freaked out on Friday about what happened at the debate. And now, over the weekend, all of a sudden, Joe Scarborough is nowhere to be found. He's on a planned vacation without his wife. And Mika Brzezinski is now doing a full 180 on what they were saying on Friday, because they've gotten their new talking points about how they are going to justify Joe Biden continuing to stay in the race despite his cognitive issues.
Now, our Joe, is off this morning on a planned vacation. On Friday's show, I should clarify, Joe said it may be time for Biden to consider stepping aside. He also said we should wait a few days to see how he responds. We're shoulder to shoulder on that. I do agree. Joe Biden has work to do. He has to do better. His team has to do a lot better. I'm just not ready, though, to count Joe Biden out, not even close. Just as Joe and I were stunned by the president's poor performance on the debate stage, We've also been surprised by the level of animosity toward Donald Trump from people who once supported him. The debate acted as a wake-up call that was a loss for Joe Biden, no question, but not a win for Trump. The choice is one terribly bad night versus a decade of destruction to our core beliefs, our democratic values, and yes, our Constitution. Someone who stumbled over his words for 90 minutes versus someone who lied to the American people over and over again. A man slowed down by a cold versus a man with a cold, vile, and merciless heart. I think in the days and weeks ahead, as we move away from this debate, clarity will hopefully set in. For me, Joe Biden is still the man for this moment.
Yeah, so I find this 180 from Mika Brzezinski to be extremely hilarious to me for multiple reasons. The number one reason, Joe Scarborough, her husband, not being there, right? This guy went on a planned vacation that just so happened to line up after the embarrassment of Joe Biden, after this guy personally endorsed Joe Biden's cognitive fitness for office. Okay, he said, F you, if you do not believe that Joe Biden is as sharp as ever, F you. This is what this guy said on national television, right? And it just so happens that he now has a planned vacation after being humiliated, because that's what happened to Joe Scarborough. He was humiliated. I'm not entirely sure how, as an executive at MSNBC, do you roll a guy out there that was so wrong on something that was so obvious. Okay, it was obvious that Joe Biden was mentally declining, but this guy refused to acknowledge reality and said, F you, if you actually do acknowledge reality. How do you roll him out there on set as a credible voice when he got humiliated for being so wrong on such an important, but again, obvious issue that the President of the United States was having? And this guy said he personally knows Joe Biden, right? He personally talks to Joe Biden. And this is why you're seeing the 180, guys. This is why you're seeing the 180, right? The rumors are that the Biden crime family is in Joe Biden's ear and they're telling him, listen, don't step down. You're going to continue to run, okay? We're going to continue to run. You're fine, okay? This is what they're saying to Joe. So they're probably telling Joe Scarborough the same thing, that, hey, you need to come out here and say that Joe Biden's fine. That, yes, there were some issues, but he's going to get better and everything's going to be all good. Lo and behold, these people come out here and they start saying things that, again, the Biden family allegedly is telling Joe Biden behind closed doors. That's exactly what's happening here. That's exactly what's happening. And what you're going to see here moving forward from the mainstream liberal media is that they're now going to try to move past this whole Biden needs to step down thing, right? Or that Biden has cognitive issues thing. They're not going to talk about it, okay? They're going to kick up the Trump derangement to a level that we've never seen before, that you never thought was possible, okay? And I personally didn't think that the media could be more Trump deranged than they already are right now. However, I do think that they're going to kick it up to a level that, again, it's just going to be absolutely insane, okay? And I'm going to do another story later today as an example of what I'm talking about, right? But that is what they're going to do. You already see those that are the closest to Joe Biden getting their talking points, telling them to come out here and you better start spinning some new propaganda, right? And that's what they're doing. That's exactly what's happening, right? Mika Brzezinski looked like somebody that was being held hostage, right? She was reading from that script, okay? She couldn't say what she actually really wanted to say. And again, it's just amazing to me how MSNBC can have such overt propagandas on their network. I mean, these people are straight up speaking for the Biden campaign, right? They're speaking on behalf of the Biden family. That's what they're doing at this point. They're just a mouthpiece for Joe Biden. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. If MSNBC was a credible news outlet, they would fire Joe Scarborough after he made that terrible, humiliating endorsement of Joe Biden. He didn't just endorse Joe Biden for president. He endorsed Joe Biden's cognitive abilities, right? And he said, F you if you don't think that Joe Biden is the sharpest he's ever been. Absolutely insanity for him to say something like that, right? And for him to show his face after that debate, after being proven so wrong, If I was him, I wouldn't have showed up, right? I wouldn't have showed up. So again, Joe Scarborough planned vacation, aka humiliated off air, right? This guy realizes that, hey, I need to just go away for a while after being so wrong. But anyways, listen, as a conservative, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to analyzing this current Democrat civil war. This idea that Joe Biden should drop out or that he should stay in. As a conservative, you want whatever is going to be best for increasing Trump's chances of winning, right? So, I look at it from a cynical perspective. I personally think that Democrats are screwed no matter what, right? I think that if Biden stays in, the Democrats are going to lose. If Biden gets out, then he's going to lose. And that is something that I have not heard any Democrat or the mainstream liberal media acknowledge, as I have been watching the reactions of the media and Democrats to what happened with Joe Biden at that debate. No Democrat is being really honest about the real issue here. The real issue is that Democrats and the mainstream liberal media knew about Joe Biden's issues a long time ago. They knew that Joe Biden was not mentally fit for office. But instead of having a real primary and acknowledging this reality for what it was, they chose to hide Joe Biden. They chose to lie. They chose to gaslight. And they chose to overthrow democracy in their own party. So they didn't have a real primary. Because they didn't have a real primary, they don't have anybody that's popular enough or well known enough to take over for Joe Biden. Because they chose Kamala Harris to be his VP, not because of her qualifications or because of her popularity or anything having to do with merit. They chose her because she's black and she has a vagina, allegedly, right? This is why they chose her. She is so unpopular that maybe Biden dropping out actually gives them a worse chance if Kamala is the person to replace Biden. So Democrats are in this situation because of choices that Democrats have made leading up into this point. I've not heard one Democrat or anybody in mainstream liberal media actually acknowledge the real truth. Who's at fault here? It is the party and the media working together, coordinated to gaslight the American people and to lie. That is what got the Democrat Party to this point. Okay? Because they all knew what Joe Biden's condition was. They just chose to lie about it. They all knew that they should have had a real primary, but they chose, let's not talk about what's going on with the Democrats. Let's not put candidates on the ballots, right? Let's not give them a fair shot of winning. Let's not have a debate. Let's just continue to lie about Joe Biden's mental deterioration. All of these things are what led to what we're seeing right now, this ultimate humiliation. And this is what I try to tell you guys about politics. The pendulum always swings the other way. Something that benefits you today can hurt you tomorrow in a worse way. And that's what's happening to Democrats. Everything that they're doing right now is backfiring spectacularly in their faces because they set themselves up for this type of situation to backfire. That's what happens when your party is a party based off of lies, hate, deceit, divisiveness, right? When you're built off of these things, when you thrive based off these things, it's a double-edged sword, man. So everything happening to the Democrats, the humiliation of Joe Biden, of these liberal media anchors that lied on behalf of Joe Biden, is all deserved. It's all deserved. But unfortunately, these people are not going to learn their lesson. They're going to double and triple down on it. And that's what you're seeing from Mika Brzezinski. Expect the rest of the media to get on board with these talking points and to kick up their Trump derangement into overdrive. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.